Hi, everyone. Welcome back
Hi.
to our Creative Tech webinar series, where we intend to blend creativity, technology, and venture capital. I'm Denis Pelkovic, a co-founder, general partner at Fuel Arts, and my co-host for this Polish section is Agnieszka Cichocka, representative at Fuel Arts in the European Union and founder of Dream and Vision, the company, an expert in creative tech development and startup growth in Poland. Hi, Agnieszka.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And I'm super excited that we're continuing this series of Polish creative tech webinars, and we're going to deep dive again into the Polish creative tech ecosystem. And this is all happening because Fuel Arts, together with the CRPK, so the Polish Creative Industries Development Center, is creating a report that's going to go live at the beginning of May. So we can't wait. And it's a report about the creative tech ecosystem in Poland. So you can see some pages from the report. And also, it's happening thanks to the support of the Ministry of Culture. So we're very grateful for this collaboration as well. And the report is very extensive, as it's a 100 pages report. So we're showing here a lot of different data, and we hope that you will read it very soon.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm happy that Agnieszka helped our analytic team and editorial team with this report, because no one knows the Polish ecosystem better than her. And in order to support the release and to bring this conversation to life, we were proud to launch this Poland Creative Tech webinar series to feature the leading voices from the Polish creative ecosystem, startups, educational institutions, investors, thought leaders. And Agni, could you please introduce our today's guest?
Yes, absolutely. So today we're going to talk about music tech, and I think there is no better person in Poland to talk about it than Aga Samitowska, who is the co-founder of MusicTech Poland, the CEO of Fenomen Lab, and the head of ZAiKS Lab. And she's a key voice transforming Poland's music innovation landscape. She also has a very diverse and broad experience, as Aga's journey spans over 15 years in the music industry. And at the beginning, she was working with Poland's most renowned artist at Kayaks. And now she drives a lot of initiatives connected to innovation. And she's working through MusicTech Poland and ZAiKS Academy and ZAiKS Lab, and also amplifying the Poland's presence on the European music innovation map. So thanks, Aga, for joining us.
Hello. Great to see you both. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we're happy you're here, and I think we would like to start the conversation from your story from the very beginning. So what made you realize that Poland needs its own music tech ecosystem, and how did MusicTech Poland come to life?
Sure, for sure. Yeah, thank you so much for the intro. I wouldn't have much more to add. It's how my story went. I started from like being a professional, working as a professional in the music industry. I was music manager, worked with big names, established artists in Poland, but also had always been interested in kind of logistics and everything what is happening in the background of the music industry. So not only the first the first shiny things that you see on the stage, but also how the business model actually works. So I have always been diving deep into like any contract I will have that will cross my hands, and yeah, asking a lot of questions. So very early on, I started joining various international events, kind of after hours. Conferences, meetups outside of Poland, and especially like, focusing on new technology, on trends, on what is next. I had ability to work as a head of digital distribution at ZAiKS, which is an independent record label in Poland, and it also gave me opportunity to dive deeper into processes, how the distribution actually works, and to be close to international scene. So it was when I realized that there's a lot of interesting, innovative things happening outside of our local ecosystem, and that not a lot of like Polish representatives are present at those like European level projects or events or conferences, and that it should change, and that we can actually, Poland, it's not new information. That is like Polish people are very savvy, like tech savvy. We have an amazing tech scene, startup scene in Krakow, or like there's a lot of talent going outside of Poland, because they are so interesting for other markets. So just adding all this up, I decided to do something about it. Also, because there is interesting dynamics happening right now at European landscape. For several years now, we've seen rise of music tech communities in different countries. It started in Germany like 15 years ago almost, with MusicTech Germany, a community of startups. But then other countries would replicate it, and like literally past 2-3 years, it's been like a true boost of initiatives this kind. So I've been always close to this community, and it was about time to start a community, like start a movement in Poland around music tech, which is intersection between music industry and new technology.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aga. Please let me comment before I continue asking questions. First of all, you said that everyone knows that Poland is very tech savvy. I should admit that also, particularly everyone knows that Poland, in addition to be tech savvy, is music savvy and has very, very deep roots. And music is in the cultural code of Poland. Everyone, I mean, all the world knows Frederick Chopin.
Right.
Chopin, and even
Dennis is a great fan.
Yeah, I'm a great fan because I still can't play piano properly. So I really jelly towards those people who come to the Warsaw airport and they see the grand piano standing there, and which provokes people to play some Chopin. And what is interesting, that people are playing Chopin at that grand piano, not only for TikTok streams, but also for fun, for for the environment, for the people who surround them. So that's truly fantastic, and we also put a stress on that in our report. And the second thing, you've mentioned Berlin. I just remember I started my career in creative tech from theatrical/music industry, and 20 years ago I visited Messe Berlin for several several times, and at that time there were no startups there yet. They were just record labels, and then we realized how the guys and girls from that record labels emerged into the startups because they started adding tech towards their everyday procedures. So my second question would be about your considerable CV. So from KX to ZAiKS Lab, your career shows like the intersection of creative management, copyright, infrastructure, but how these experiences shape your current position, your current work with tech-driven solutions. So how often did you meet tech on your lifespan in music?
Before Aga answers, can I just have one comment? So, because maybe
Sure.
not everyone who's watching us knows a lot about MusicTech Poland, but if you don't know, it's a platform, and you can check the website. I think we can also later show it in the comments. And MusicTech Poland organizes meetings in Warsaw every quarter. I think it is, Aga, right?
Yeah.
And each meeting is dedicated to another topic connected to music tech. So you have different panel discussions and presentations of music tech startups in Poland, which is very interesting because I found some of the startups really at those meetings. So it's really great. And also there is a WhatsApp group where people, like, it's divided into different channels. So people also discuss their, like, some new initiatives or some, I don't know, like application processes that you can join, or accelerators, both in Poland and in Europe, and also, different events going on. So that's really nice. And there are a lot of people in the group. So I think if you want to be up to date about music tech, you should definitely join MusicTech Poland. And they are also, like, the meetings are taking place in the Polish Creative Industries Development Center, which is in Warsaw. So highly recommended. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. Yeah. So going back to Danny's question. This is a great comment of yours that Poland is known for its music. I didn't know that everybody know that Poland is music savvy, but it's great to hear such a opinion about someone who is outside from our country. It might be true. Now that I think of it, it is true that we have like a strong music culture, which makes it a little bit more tough when it comes to business, right? So what I saw during my career so far is that in the music industry there is a lot of like music lovers, like artists, people who look at music or creative space as their passion, and it definitely should stay like this. But together with the creative industry is becoming more digitalized, it's the music business started to really crave solutions and technology in order to actually be able to proceed in this context, in this scenario of like a huge amount of metadata, a huge amount of new data coming into the system. During my career, I remember there like several revolutions happened. Like, for example, I remember Spotify launching in Poland, right? So I remember pre-Spotify times in the music industry, and it was all much easier. You could kind of you didn't have to be so much data savvy, for example, in order to like run a music business. But then like everything changed with digital distribution being more new norm. So a lot of technology around like actually distribution, how to distribute music, how to calculate revenues. Kind of not so sexy topics, but super super important in order to like to make money, basically, in order to like find the best efficient way to proceed with your business in an efficient with efficient tools, so that it doesn't take so much time for artists to be paid, so that it doesn't take so much time for so that you can make more wiser decisions based on data. So the data coming into the industry first, like kind of pushed everybody to be more to be like to revising its processes. But also it presented a lot of like new opportunities, so that the industry can make um, decisions based on data and not only on intuition, right? Like there is a lot of things that changed, for example, how record labels decide on the next artist to sign. I don't know if you're aware, like I'm sure you are aware of the role in the music industry, which is called A&R. So it's a person who searches, it's like a scout who searches for the next artist to be signed with a record label. And back in the day, A&Rs would travel on showcases, like attend different showcases, conferences where they could actually see a band live. But now it's more, searching for TikTok trends and or like following the band's career or presence on the internet, in the social media, on Instagram, and so on and so forth. So it's not only the appearance and charisma on stage anymore, and this itself pushed everybody, and also innovation towards technology, right?
But Aga, do you think there will be some space still for the intuition? Like because I think in the movie, so we're both with Aga in ZAiKS Lab, so I'll be adding a little bit, So I think like in music tech ecosystem, there is a lot of data. I was really surprised like with the amount of reports, etc. I think it's much more than in the art tech, which is also very important to me, and I think Dennis is here and an expert as well. But I think in music there is like it's really like a lot of data, like everything is measured, etc. So I think it's a lot, and I'm just wondering, do you think there will still be some space for intuition, for something that I just feel like this artist is gonna be the next star, or you think it's all gonna be like in some time within the future trends? You feel it's all gonna be based on data?
No, for sure, no. Yeah, I do believe there's space for intuition. It's just that maybe you will be safer while investing, because as a record label operates kind of in a similar way as VC. They you see a lot of potential projects to invest in, but you never know actually which one. I think there is a very similar dynamics when making decisions. So VCs also, like in the current context, like the VCs also have a lot of new tools in order to which are supposed to help them on their investments, help them scanning pitch decks and kind of to maybe support with basically making a decision whom to invest in. And similarly in music industry right now, I feel that it's not like, all of this tooling will not make all the work for you, but potentially can kind of bring more sense into, like, not put you so much into risky decisions into. And also, what is very important is that business models are changing. So together with technology, you are able to, like, commit not on the full contract with an artist, but for example only on the distribution. You can take part of a business that old school business models would see as a norm, but now record labels and business industry is kind of cutting it into smaller pieces, because technology allows them to, serve only part of the offer that wouldn't be possible in the previous business models. And also, do it yourself artists are right now empowered with, like, lots of tools that actually allow them to create their own record labels, right? So yeah, there is, I would say that, yeah, I was asked interesting question the other day, like, to think about, like, okay, we know that currently we are asking a lot of questions, like, can artists or creative sector live with AI? Like, what will AI do to creative sector? But the but the question in reverse is very interesting. Like, can AI like happen and and live without creativity, without creative people? So actually no, because, like, it needed all of this content of the world to be fed, to be trained on. So there is still, like, this interesting, when I talk to scientists about AI, for example, like, for now, a lot of scientists feel that AI will never be so creative as human, because human has its own, like, chaos in their head. Like, it cannot be calculated, cannot be put into mathematical model. So yeah, there is some insanity, I would say, in humans that math and data probably will not, ever understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aga. I should say that the shift of business modeling in the music industry is quite similar to what we are witnessing in the art business. So galleries are are not that much paying for artistic promotion. So earlier, like record labels, yeah, they paid for all the promotion. They were real producers of. I mean, were responsible for all parts of the promotion and the artistic career, music artists' career growth. The same as galleries with artists, and I'm sure you've heard of cross-collateral contracts, and both musicians and fine artists were responsible to pay for all the promotion, all the promotion money previously invested in them from their earnings. But now, especially with the rise of technology, both music artists and fine artists have the new instruments of developing their careers themselves, and galleries are paying less and less for those instruments. So, but that brings us to another questions. Like, you worked with startups in both Poland, yeah, and abroad. So what makes music tech founders unique in Poland or in general, and what kinds of projects excite you most right now, as soon as you are staying in Poland and developing Poland music scene?
I wouldn't say that there is anything super unique about like music tech founders. I was actually surprised that a lot of them, are using the same vocabulary as any other founders. Like they are actually their ambitions are high and want to like be present in the like typical startup communities. And what I like about this community is that you can tell that they are getting more and more advanced and more brave and bold to actually go ahead and sit along beside any other industry and community. And that's great to see from my point of view. Not only as I mentioned, not only musicians or people passionate about music get into this space. You can see like IT specialists who just who found in our music industry opportunity, right? And are fascinated by problems to be solved, and they are fascinated how many interesting challenges there are, which aren't so well seen from outside the world. So yeah, it's really amazing to meet new people, and like for example Agnieszka, like Agnieszka is already has already been like her brain is already trained well on creative tech, but every time that we talk she's like mentioning more and more music, specifically music related you know questions, or like new riddles come to her head, like the other day I heard music playing in such and such venue. I wonder how they calculate royalties from that. It's also, like
So
epidemic, you start once and then it never finishes. I'm telling you.
That's what we're at Fuel Arts witnessing while working with Agnieszka on the Polish Creative Tech Report. So every day for like starting from last October to this April or nearly May. Yeah, she had something. Yeah, let's add this. Let's add this to the report. Let's add this. That's why we haven't released it so far. I'm joking, of course. I'm very satisfied.
So
with the
I'm really
results
curious. I really look forward to reading this report, actually, because I'm sure that I will
because
learn
your interview is there. That's why you're curious. No?
No, I really want to learn more about
Aga loves reading the reports, like really like just really like
Aga, do you love proofreading as much as you love reading? Because we are now spreading the reports throughout the devoted persons for proofreading, because it's actually finished. It's ready.
Sure.
Okay. With respect to the time of our of our audience and yours as well. So Aga, may I ask you to continue with the next question, please?
Yes. So I also wanted to add something. So I'm the adding person. So we mentioned ZAiKS and ZAiKS Lab, but not everyone maybe from our international audience knows the names. So I'll just mention that ZAiKS is the copyright management company, and ZAiKS Lab is like a part of ZAiKS that is all around research and development, and its aim is to build valuable partnerships and also educate people in terms of copyright. And also we have been working and are working with different startups to do the pilot projects within the company, and also like test different technologies. We monitor trends, and also everything is around data. So data is very very important to us. So we've been running for the last 3 months, and Aga started ZAiKS Lab, so she's a very important person here. But we're moving forward, and soon we'll go live with the website and with all the activities that we're doing there. So I just wanted to add this one. And also Aga mentioned the AI, and because it's a hot topic in music right now, so I just wanted to say that we're also working on a MusicTech map, so to show, because like when you're thinking about MusicTech, very often you're thinking about generative AI and generating music, etc. So we want to show that the MusicTech ecosystem is very broad, and that you can use different tools in many different aspects of creating music, but also distributing it, and all the way throughout the whole music ecosystem. So you should follow us. Yeah. So coming to the next question. So we can, I think, all experience that many investors are like they are still hesitant to the music tech. And this is also like with the report, and also I think with all your activities, Aga, we want to show that to the investors as well, that music tech is that the music tech startups are as great as all the other startups. But I wonder, what do you think they should understand better about the business models or the long-term potentials within the music tech startups, to be like less hesitant to invest in them?
Yeah, well, first of all, when you hear music tech, a lot of people think headphones or wires or like hardware. So first of all, yeah, like what happened to Aga once she started to understand like how deep various challenges are, like she like seems to be in love with with opportunities out there. So all the music tech ecosystem in Europe and now in Poland, like we are aiming, apart from generally supporting the ecosystem, we are also aiming at broadening awareness on what music tech actually is and what the music business involves in, what kind of challenges, what kind of layers music business presents, so that it's not only what you see on the stage, it's not only the typical first thing that comes to your mind when thinking about music business. So I like to mention that music business nowadays is very you can find similarities between music business and fintech, for example. It's so flooded with data that fuel royalties, that fuel actually the money. It's very similar to banking, to finance, so this is like first thing, that it doesn't need to be, and the music, the art part is kind of on the side. So you don't need to understand music, you don't need to be a music lover. It's just the only layer of calculating royalties is so complex enough that it will never be solved, probably, because new technology also brings new layers of how music is being exploited. So for example, together with development of gaming, like any place that you can think of includes music. And so it includes so copyright needs to be taken into consideration, because copyright law, because different laws exist around copyright, you have to calculate somehow money for the artists, for record labels, and so on and so forth. So this will always present technical challenges, and tech is absolutely needed there. Also, music tech, it's not so together with Aga, we are searching for music tech that don't even know there are music tech. So for example, you can find projects in healthcare or in finance that are perfectly fit to music industry. So you can think of it the other way around. Like if something works for music business, it might actually work also for other industries. So this is also what when I mentor music tech startups at Music Tech Europe Academy, we often ask this question, like, why do you want to limit yourself only to music industry? Because like the solution that you're building might actually also be interesting for other industries. So you can see, and I'm very happy that your report is called Culture Tech, because I like to the broader
Creative tech.
creative tech. Sorry.
No.
What did
could
I
have been
say?
called. You said culture tech.
Culture,
It's a
creative.
common. It's a common. It's not a mistake. It's a common.
But it's even better. Yeah, it's even better.
It's a common. Yeah, it's a common mistake, I should say, because culture refers to something in people's mind and also in investors' mind, to something non-commercial or non-profit. That's why we chose the name creative, which assembles as profitable as non-profitable. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. So great point. And actually, this is what should be said to the investors, that music is so related nowadays to creativity. So for example, everything that is happening on TikTok, at ZAiKS Lab, we are seeing and reading a lot of reports about how creators economy is rising right now. So the music industry really is not happening anymore only within the known paths, but is taking its own new second life within new types of social media platforms that allow creators to distribute their music, people who don't want to be full-time professional artists, because they have like their other jobs, for example, but still like their creativity and their art, their work is presenting a huge competition to this regular business models and it's actually getting bigger and bigger, and typical Spotify streaming is not enough for nowadays business. So it's what I would say to investors is that first of all, it's not the first intuition that you have. It's great to dig deeper into like how to see how challenging the and how many problems to be solved are there, that it's a never it merges all the time. Music business, like it's together with new platforms, metaverse, gaming, new digital spaces are allowing music into it, and inviting music into it. So the business how we know it, like it needs to merge, it needs to change its tooling in order to earn money. So it's a very interesting space for sure.
Thank you, Aga. A very smart conclusion that it's it needs to be changed. You've mentioned Spotify, and I should say that also from my experience working with creative tech startups, when investors hear the word music tech, the first thing, I mean, the most common thing they're asking, why should we invest money in music tech if we already have Spotify there, or Apple Music, but Spotify as a like alone standing startup, not a part of a strategist like Apple. But that's the question of the same range as if we have Amazon, why do we produce other marketplaces? Why do we need eBay? Why do we need Alibaba? Why do we need Temu? Like a year ago, no one no one suspected that the marketplace of cheap goods, Temu, would be so popular even in the United States. And nowadays, navigating Temu, I'm not advertising, I'm just telling from the marketing perspective. Yeah, navigating Temu is more like a gamified experience. People find very funny things there and then share that experience on TikTok and other. So even without buying some items, they are advertising that, and that's a great marketing approach. So that's why we were telling people, hey, MusicTech is not only Spotify, it's not only streaming, but even if it's about streaming, Spotify and Apple Music and others. So they, in order to grow, in order to develop, not to stagnate, they need competitors. So if you produce those competitors, that would be a nice move, and also you have the potential acquirers, so they will most likely acquire, buy out your business if you're too successful. So you have the market, you have the proof of concept, and but a lot of people still miss what MusicTech is. For instance, there is a startup in Miami who sells, we're against all the chemical additions, but they sell mushrooms during electronic music shows, and they call it MusicTech startup. So that should be
For sure, they are creative.
At least they are creative in their marketing campaign. Again, we're against of all the all the changes made to the human body and mood with artificial stuff. So
but I'm really curious how we're going to consume the music in the future. Like I'm really curious about the future, about all those I don't know, even hardware, software, different personalized experiences. I'm really curious, but I feel like we're somehow getting there, that there's going to be the next change, and I'm just asking myself a question: what's after Spotify? What's next?
Sorry, one small addition to align to put our two questions with Aga together, with Agni together. So in other words, we are asking if subscription platforms will remain dominant, or the future more about direct to fan engagement, brand engagement, micro licensing, and live shows. So like pre-recorded products or live products, because even 10 years ago, live concerts were a part of the promotional campaign of the records, and no one expected that they might be profitable.
Yeah, so a lot of reports, especially media research, very interesting. Very interesting. They put together very interesting reports about not only music but various other creative industries. So, for example, they say they predict a slow death of subscription platforms. That is, it's going to merge into something like radio nowadays. But the future of music consumption, how fans or people in general are going to consume music is predicted to be more active, so that and passive listening is not so interesting for the audience anymore. That's why, TikTok like experience where you are given by an artist a portion of the sound, and you can play with it, like this is the future probably. And also together with AI, like interesting discussions are happening around like every song whether every fan, every listener will be presented a different version of the same song, like sync with their own individual taste. So yeah, this might be a future, right? That Billie Eilish releases a single, and I hear a different version of it than you do, right? Because I have a slightly different taste, or that I will be able to play with it so that it fits my mood. So you wouldn't have like different mood playlists, but you would have like different mood versions of the same song, right? And AI can allow it. Yeah, so extreme personalization, uh, extreme playfulness, and ability to you know come to create some kind of a relationship with art, with music, with creativity around it. Like this might be the future. And yeah, various reports actually show that the passive listening is not as interesting anymore. And also, yeah, as I mentioned, like gaming, like there are new different ways of interacting with music. So I like to say, and I presented this theory several times on different keynotes, that when you see on the how music industry and technology developed throughout years or even hundreds of years, like in many cases there's been like technology first, so that, like, for example, microwaves were discovered, and somehow very quickly sound and music industry took over it, right? Like it wasn't invented, or it wasn't like discovered. Microwaves weren't invented. Microwaves weren't discovered in order to kind of disrupt music industry, right? This just happened because the new technology gave this opportunity. So this is only one of various examples how music kind of takes over, new tech tools, new technology that is happening out there. So it's hard to say if, like, I'm very enthusiastic, and I'm really curious about the future, because it's always hard to say what will happen next. Everything that is happening right now, we wouldn't think of like 10 years ago, right? So it's I like what I see, like when we you ask this question about, like, is there a room for human intuition? Like there is a special relationship between human brains and music specifically, that makes it that so that humans cannot separate themselves so easily from music. So wherever they go, wherever new invention they do, like they instantly try to put music in there, and because they just want to be surrounded by it. The first thing that was recorded on a vinyl was like a person singing, not not quoting a poem, or like it's the music that is like kind of one of the first things that you try to like get along when tasting new tech. So yeah, it might be everything. It might be like
It's also very much connected with emotions, I think. Like I remember 10 years ago, there was it was a startup from the US, and they were creating some hardware and software where two people could like, so one person was at a concert and the other one could feel, you know, like the emotions, the heartbeat of the person listening to this. And I found it really super weird at that time. But you know, I feel like it's gonna, you know, I feel like it's going to expand in a way, because I think music can really bring people together, you know, and that it can, you know, like connect them on a, like in a deeper way as well, so that you can, you know, like understand each other emotions and what's driving those emotions and so on. So yeah, so that was weird, but interesting. But I feel like we will have maybe also more of those, you know, software, hardware things where we can get, which can connect us as people, you know, like
And
on
the
this level
question,
of emotions. Yeah.
and the question how to calculate royalties from it will always, you know,
Yeah.
be present, right? So it's
Yeah.
never ending story.
Yeah. But by the way, after the webinar, I will connect you to one startup, one Web3 startup, which deals with artistic royalties, with music royalties, and live concerts. They are called MuFi, and they are using Polkadot blockchain. So I believe you'll find much in common and could definitely find some business interest on artist representation, or sharing ideas, and sharing profit in the very end.
For sure. Thank you.
It's your turn to ask the pre-last question, Agni.
Yeah, so we're wondering, you know, for those aspiring music tech entrepreneurs, like what practical advice would you give them, and whether they're coming from music or tech, and also, you know, maybe some specific advice connected to the Polish tech ecosystem or music tech ecosystem.
So music tech ecosystem in general tends to advise often one specific thing, which is learn copyright. Like seriously, you cannot like do without it. It's so even, you know, knowing basics, like, because this is the basics, this is the foundation that actually makes everything roll in the music industry. Like it's very hard, like even if you want to dispute copyright, even if you want to dispute the status quo, like at least it's great to be aware which part you are disputing, you know, so that it's not just crazy wild rush on our, you know, trying to disrupt the business, but without actually understanding how it works. But it's better to start with, like, yeah, at least basics, like to be aware that there is a certain set of rights related to authors. There is a certain set of rights related to performers, to record labels, and, you know, this is just how it works. And it will also be a better, like, will put you on a better position while fundraising, when you can, you know, prove that you are copyright proof, so that your business will not get sued in, you know, in 1 year by major labels, and will just you know, it's better to mitigate this risk at the beginning. Also because, and I think that a lot of music startups might not know it, that all those different bodies that sell music licenses, they are aware that, for example, startups on MVP levels, they need a different condition than the, you know, already running businesses. So you can always negotiate licenses if you need music license. But it's better, you know, to start with a clean situation on this aspect. And if you are building tool or solution that is supposed to support the business, then understanding copyright is even more important, right?
Yeah. But we can do some advertising here, I think. So if you have some questions around it, and if you're a startup and you're not sure about copyright, you can reach to us, because we can support you and help you with that. And also in ZAiKS Lab, we're addressing all the challenges that Aga has just mentioned. So yeah, and we're super open to help and support. So if you have any questions around it, you can always just ping us. Exactly.
Ping them. Yeah. Complicated navigation here at Fuel Arts webinar. Though, yeah, I'm happy that you've visited us today, Aga, and thank you for all you're doing for the music tech ecosystem in whole, and thank you for remaining a Polish patriot. And that's really awesome. I mean,
and also in the report, we will have those pages with the music and music tech events and important institutions. So so check it out as well, because maybe there are some you haven't heard about before, or also you might inspire yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for the work that you're doing, because it's in our bubble. It's important to spread awareness, to put terms such as creative tech or music tech on the table, so that investors and people get more and more used to it, and understand the true meaning of it. So every such report, article, everything is super important right now.
Thank you. And Dennis from Switzerland, your colleague from the creative tech market, he works in Web3. He says Gruzi, which means hi. It's a Swiss variant of hi everyone, not Web3, but more Swiss. So yeah, again, thank you, and looking forward to hear about your next achievements in the music tech field, and yeah, looking forward to please everyone with our upcoming report.
Oh yeah, I'm totally there. Counting days.
Yes, and Aga's interview, large-scale interview, 2 pages interview, you could find also in the report. So if you miss something, Aga for sure didn't miss a thing inside the report. So see you in a week with the new guests, and thanks everyone who has been watching us.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.